more. This is why we have Reggie.
The year is 2077, and
God fucking damn it, let's go.
the American government has just finished research on the forced evolution
Hooray!
virus. This pathogen is single-handedly responsible for transforming people into Slavs. Shortly after, the world was plunged into nuclear winter. Coincidence? I think not. It was definitely a
I was meant to be a sludge. It is I, the sludge queen.
bad time to be alive. But our timeline is even worse, because in this world, the virus doesn't evolve things into super mutants. It evolves them into cars. Meaning that every single household item is now a car. Grandma's radio? Car. Collection of coffee mugs? Car. Your infant son? It's too late for him, I'm
Oh my god, it's a baby car! It's so tiny! It's so adorable! It's a tiny car!
afraid. Even the very bullets inside of your gun? Also cars. Simply put,
I love that. I want that. I would love to shoot cars out of my gun.
75% of the game assets have been
It's
replaced
car.
by cars, and society is not coping with it very well. These motor vehicles may seem innocuous, but they're actually ambush predators, and trust me, they will not hesitate to put you down. There's only one man who could hope to restore order to this world.
But it's a
Of course,
car.
I'm talking about Igor Bogdanov.
Oh my god, what's wrong with this man's face? Why is he so long and round and his lips are... Oh no, is he also a car?
Because today, we'll be playing
Oh my god, those lips. Are these two different people or is it the same time just copy-pasted?
as one half of the titular twins in an
Oh,
attempt
shit.
to establish a thriving utopia and put an end
Wait, they are twins and they plastic surgeryed each other the same way? That's actually great. That's like dedication. Holy
to
shit.
Carmageddon once and for all. Can we single-handedly rebuild society, or will we fall victim to a cruel and unusual form of precipitation? There's only one way
As
to
a
find
Slav,
out.
I can confirm, we have cars, all of them, especially your cars are already here per yet.
Not my cars! I don't even have a car because he stole it.
But first, a word from our sponsor, NordVPN. A hypothetical situation.
NordVPN.
You're home alone browsing the internet, when suddenly a gang of
Ibiza.
cyber criminals break into your apartment and start harassing you. They're trying to steal your browser history and credit card information, and you're powerless to stop them. However,
I don't have a credit card. I'm safe.
all of this could have been avoided with NordVPN, because Nord will protect your data and never let the cyber criminals find you in the first place. In fact, all it takes is one click of a button and you can change your location to anywhere in the world, allowing you to access hundreds of region-locked TV shows and
Okay, am I the only one who definitely did not try VPNing while Netflixing, but like Netflix notices my VPN and it doesn't want to show me the things? Am I too dumb to figure it out? Netflix always gives me the, oh, it seems like you're running a VPN.
movies. Nord has also introduced some additional
Okay, I'm
features,
just dumb.
such as their
Sorry.
kill switch. When using other VPNs, there's a risk that you could momentarily
Girlfriend ASMR. Cute and clumsy girlfriend accidentally commits vehicular manslaughter. I could do that. I could do that. I didn't know that's an option, but I could do that. I would have married that girl. Fuck, I'm not gonna do that.
lose connection to their servers and compromise your data, but not with Nord. Simply enable the kill switch, and if you lose connection at any point, Nord will temporarily
It's
disable
me.
your browser, thus ensuring your safety and anonymity. Other than that, they also offer Threat Protection Pro to shield you from online malware,
Aww.
such as the 800 terabyte zip bomb full of Bonzi Buddy that I am actively sending to your Gmail. So, what are you waiting for? Go to nordvpn.com/ReggieGames to try Nord. For a limited time, they'll even give you 4 extra months of protection and a Saley
Yama.
eSIM with up to 20 gigabytes. This will help you stay connected to the internet at home or
Thank
abroad
you,
through
Reggie.
affordable data packages, thus allowing you to avoid expensive roaming charges. Trust me, it's a small price to pay for your personal safety. Thank you, NordVPN. Now back to the video.
Sorry, before we are back to the video, can I go to pee? I'm sorry. I will be fast as lightning. Pee. Nya, 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 nya. I was concentrating, but now I'm back. I'm not blind. I'm back. I'm back.
Nightmare begins in the character creation screen, because as I'm carefully sculpting myself to look like my body has received a face transplant that it is violently rejecting, I can already hear a symphony of collision sounds emanating from the hallway. Upon further inspection, I open the closet to find 3 mid-sized sedans vibrating violently. Other than that, everything is normal. I have a wife, child, and a robot who I have appointed to raise my son, because I am an emotionally distant father with no sense of empathy. Then, suddenly...
Dude, does it mean that the car just wants to get out of the closet?
A broadcast comes on the
It's
TV.
a geisha
This entire
car.
area is about to be vaporized by nuclear weapons. So, obviously, I escape out the front door, making sure to lock my wife and child in behind me before sprinting down the street in the wrong direction.
Same.
I turn around, dodging and weaving my way through a series of cars as I race toward the fallout shelter. Many good people are left behind. I do not care. And despite Mr. Russell's best efforts, I'm the first one to make it to the elevator. I look behind me to see that my wife and child are trapped on the rear
I'm sorry. Farewell, child and wife. You guys were great. Well, anyways.
bumper of a Chevy Plymouth. Pay attention to the helicopter landing in the background, because it lands directly on top of a car, crushing it and setting off a chain reaction of explosions which killed the entire neighborhood. I was hoping that was just
Our wife might be immortal.
bad luck, but this pilot is nothing if not consistent. Eventually, I figure out the best approach is to just hide behind this container crate, wait for the cars to explode, then everyone makes their way to the elevator and we're in. We're lowered into Vault 111, where, unfortunately, the car virus has already spread. I follow a sex offender to the decontamination
What?
pods, only to be tricked into cryosleep. I escape the pod 200 years later, where I am immediately greeted by the cold hard steel of a wheel hub assembly. Some things never change. My wife still looks tired, so I decide to let her sleep in. The vault is now overrun
He's such a good husband.
with cars, some of which I'm able to sneak past, but most of the time I can't, and I have to punch my way through them until they explode. On more than one occasion, I have broken both of my arms doing this. Luckily, the cars are packed so tightly
Wait, so the cars are supposed to be the cockroaches in this scenario? Is it like all just the monsters, or is it the items?
that detonating one will typically initiate a chain reaction that clears out the entire vault. Good news for us, bad news for
Everything.
the rad roaches. After a few more
Oh no, it's not the roaches. Okay.
explosions, I make my way to the exit and ride the elevator up. We finally made it outside, where I bear witness to several cars majestically sailing through the skies. My neighborhood has been hit hard by the car virus, but this is
It's Hogwarts. It was Hogwarts all along.
nothing. Over the horizon, I see the red rocket
Oh my
truck stop
God.
spewing cars into the atmosphere
What the
like
fuck?
some kind of volcano. You may look at this and think, what's the big deal, Reggie? It's just some cars. Well, I'll tell you, not only do I have to contend with the ever-present danger of a car falling from the heavens and pulverizing me,
you,
but thanks to a
Hogwarts.
bug in the game, if I brush up against a car in the wrong way, there's about a 50% chance it'll just kill me. This happened about a dozen times in the first hour of playing. But if we
I'm learning that cuddling with cars is dangerous. That's it. You have to be very careful when you're romantically approaching a car. It might just squashes you. Is it like death by snoo snoo? Or death by honk honk? It might be Hong Kong. Didn't this guy marry a car? Did he? Death by dude.
let our lives be governed by fear, then truly the terrorists have won. So regardless, it's time to venture forth. We have two goals. One, destroy the Institute, because
Can't believe Reggie is putting shit like that into his video. What the fuck?
in Fallout 4, the Institute is responsible for every misfortune, ranging from gangland killings to erectile dysfunction. So I'm just assuming they did the car thing too. And our second goal, rebuild society from the ground up. Our first stop is going to be Concord. If we want to restore order to this world, we're going to need the help of notorious war criminal Preston Garvey, and he's trapped inside this building. I made my way there and began wading through the sea of cars that flooded the streets. I was struggling to make progress because
Honestly, I see nothing wrong. If you would tell me that this is the original state of the game, I would be like, yeah, I believe you. It looks good.
for every car I could climb over, the raiders were shooting
Oh
out
my
a dozen
God.
more. I snuck up on them and began neutralizing them with my own brand of automotive justice. I will admit, car-based
Bro!
combat is pretty awkward, but by far the worst part
Did that just bounce back? Or was it like someone else shooting back at
Is
him?
when you're in the middle of 100 cars and you hear
Holy
the sound
shit.
of exactly one of them catching on fire. You can try to run, but at that point, it's already too late. That was a hard but valuable lesson to learn, because
Bro, it sounded so muffled. Like I could feel the FPS just like going away.
I realized I could clear out all of the bandits by simply finding a car on the edge of town.
Okay. Be honest with me. Is this car sex? Is this how cars multiply?
And lighting it on fire.
Because I think this is how baby cars are born.
Out all of the bandits by simply finding a car on the
Look at
edge of
that.
town and
Nature is truly beautiful. I was always wondering how baby cars are born, but now I know.
lighting it on fire. The
Beautiful.
resulting explosions vaporized everything apart from the occasional chunk of flesh. Clearly impressed, Preston invited us inside. In hindsight, I do not recommend going inside, because upon entering,
It's
you will
lovely.
be greeted by a cacophony of suffering, an orchestra of metal screeching.
I think that's an orgy. I think Reggie found an orgy. That unironically is a sex dungeon.
And violent smashing. Honestly,
A
don't
car
even bother
sex
trying to
dungeon.
navigate it. Also, don't even bother trying to destroy it,
Holy
because I
shit.
made that mistake the first time. I lit one of the cars on fire and tried to evacuate the building as they exploded. Instead, I left too soon, and the very second I came back through those doors, the entire building would detonate, killing me instantly. Just to add insult to injury, the game also placed a quick save at this exact moment.
Beautiful. The game is like, you have done this. Enjoy,
Frog,
motherfucker.
frog emoji, ribbit robbit.
Ribbit rabbit.
Thank you, Todd. That was lovely. This left me with no other
God damn it, Todd. Can you imagine if this is exactly how Todd was like, you're welcome. It just works.
This left me with no other choice. I'm going to have to construct a bridge made entirely out of cars that span from the top floor of this building all the way across to the museum's rooftop access. So I prepared some
With
rough
cars?
sketches and got to work. I started by sprinting my way up the apartment building, but unfortunately the cars ambushed me on the staircase. After dealing with that, I climbed onto the roof and began the construction process. Making a giant pile of cars might seem simple enough.
How is this man's computer did not blow up? Every single bullet shot is a car.
But there's a few things I need
He's
to warn you
insane.
about. First, you may feel tempted to use the shotgun because it fires 9 cars at a time. However, the collision damage from 9 high-velocity sedans will cause a grease fire, at which point I highly recommend running as far away as possible. Just kidding, it won't make a difference anyway. Second tip, this isn't actually a bridge. It's much closer to the ball pit at McDonald's, because if you're not careful when jumping, you'll slide right through the cracks and be forever entombed in your own personal sarcophagus, at which point there's only one way out, and it's not in
Death.
one piece. Other than that, it really just comes down to luck. In my case, it took about 30 minutes and 97 cars for
This man spent 30 minutes to trying to bridge the goddamn gap between the buildings because the cars are having sex in the building.
me to finally make it across.
He's
Several
insane.
days later, I found out you can actually just jump to the roof from this nearby church. It was a bad day in the Reginald household when I came to that realization. Anyway, I entered the 3rd floor of the museum, only to realize that the cars were literally stacked up to the ceiling. I somehow managed
Yep,
to
he's
navigate
fucked.
this automotive hellscape and make it to Preston, but he refused to open the door until I had personally killed all of the bandits. What a dick. My plan for killing them was to get in this suit of power armor, find a relatively safe corner, and then light a car on fire and pray for survival. Much to my surprise, this actually worked. I tried to find the remaining enemies, but
Bro, the crust. I can already feel the computer just chugging like just...
they sent me flying through the very map itself. When
Holy
I came back
shit.
to finish them off, I realized they had crushed themselves to death with their own cars. Amateurs. With that taken care of, Preston finally let me inside and began speaking with me as if he wasn't currently lodged atop a filing cabinet. He proceeded to espouse some very racially charged rhetoric about Rhodesians.
Fried chicken!
I told him that was wildly inappropriate, and we agreed to discuss it later. In the meantime, I have to go outside and kill more criminals. My only advice for this
I want to see him destroy people with shooting them with cars. That's all I want.
section is
I
don't
wanna
get
see the
cocky just
car
because you're in
violence.
power armor, because those raiders will absolutely laser you, and I cannot express how jarring it is to get hit by a car, fly through the air for 30 seconds, wake up in a different time zone, and then get hit again. Also, that bridge we made, I recommend using that to your advantage. And finally, don't stand too close to Preston. Once I was done committing vehicular manslaughter, I spoke with Preston, and he agreed to meet me at Sanctuary, so we could begin building a prosperous settlement, and by the looks of it, we've got our work cut out for us. Our first order of business is ignoring the cars that are actively phasing through the walls and trying to consume
They are just purring because they are happy. It's like, ah, I am so happy that you're here.
Mama Murphy, because what's more important is liberating at least 5 settlements and creating supply routes between them to establish a functional support network of civilizations. And once that's done, then we can find and kill the Institute. Our first settlement will be Tenpines Bluff. I made my way there, where I encountered a woman who was almost certainly...
Oh my god, dude, she's I don't want to say what she's doing,
will be
but
Tenpines Bluff. I made my way there, where I encountered a woman
that's a gooning face. She's feeling something.
who is almost certainly experiencing methamphetamine withdrawals, which is fine, but I just don't trust the way she's shaking that double-barrel shotgun like an unwanted baby. Anyway, she wants us to go to Lexington and kill the raiders in this car factory. This would normally take about 10 minutes, but I got a little sidetracked. It went like this. Wander through the wasteland aimlessly, get stuck in some kind of quicksand, find the site of a crashed airplane, kill the survivors, accidentally stumble upon General Atomics. I cannot resist the call to the void. Die several times in a sea of cars before finally making it inside the bowling alley. Hit a perfect strike and then attempt to commit...
Okay, this cheating. This cheating. That's it. I'm saying it. That's fucking cheating.
Identity fraud when confronted by a robot. Fail at committing identity fraud. Blow everything up in frustration and go hunting to let off some steam.
Dude, that bitch slapped me the
identity
car.
fraud. Blow everything up in frustration and go hunting to let off some steam. After that, I made my way to Lexington, where I very narrowly dodged a projectile car, only to immediately get shot in the back of the head with a Ford Pinto. Ladies and gentlemen, meet the Lexington Welcoming Committee. I do not enjoy their gifts. Fortunately, they blew themselves up shortly after, and I made my way to the target. It's here where I pioneered a new offensive technique. I call it the wick, because you load up your target with about 24 cars and then create a long string of them leading to safety.
He parked them so well. Look at it. These are all parallel. It's beautiful.
Which you can ignite much like a wick. This allows us to detonate several atomic bombs worth of cars from a safe distance, or so I thought. You see, the explosion of 25 cars sends a lot of shrapnel flying, and if you're not careful, you're going to catch one in the face. So I tried again, this time hiding behind a tree. And I still got absolutely annihilated. Eventually,
Bro, that was personal. There was nothing on the side and it was just like...
I'm hiding behind a tree, and I still got absolutely annihilated. Eventually, I did get inside, and after greeting the receptionist, I was left with an entire factory packed full of cars. So I lit one on fire, hid in the corner, and started pissing all over myself. One gigantic explosion later, and I got a notification telling me every raider in the factory was now dead. Simply amazing.
That's kind of cool. Listen, I spent so much time in this fucking factory that... 10 out of 10. Job well done. Chef kiss. Mwah.
All that's left to do now was escape. In hindsight, I do not recommend escaping through the roof, unless you know how to land a triple cartwheel from 60 feet in the air, because I don't. With all of that done, I went back to my favorite drug addict, told her the good news, and she agreed to join our faction. To congratulate us on the success, Preston decided to give me a flare gun, which I can shoot into the sky to call for reinforcements.
It's a car.
Thanks, Preston. I love it. On to the next settlement, Starlight Drive-In. On my way there, I stopped by Trudy's diner and tried to intimidate the bandits into leaving her alone, and I failed. But similarly, Wolfgang failed to survive the resulting nuclear blast, and after that, I found Simone engaged in a life-or-death battle against Trash Can Carla, a duel which they both lost. Following this, Trudy sold me some radiation medication for all the plutonium I've been inhaling, and then I was on my way.
Delicious
Clearing the drive-in
plutonium.
was simply a matter of filling it with vehicles, beating one of them with a tire iron, and then watching as a dozen mole rats go up in flames. That makes 3 settlements in total, with 2 left to go. And
Dude, this mod is too OP. As long as you manage to not get squished and hit by and molested by the cars, it's like GG. That's it.
next, we're heading to Oberland Station. On my way there, I was presented with a tantalizingly tempting opportunity.
Oh, tell me more.
A Pulowski preservation shelter surrounded by yet-to-be-exploded cars. Obviously, I had to put this to the test, and while I was expecting to be turned into a human smoothie, the shelter actually worked. Following this, I met the leader of Oberland Station, who complained about being victimized by a gang of violent criminals operating out of Backstreet Apparel.
Wow. Hi.
Don't worry, lady, I'm a fucking psycho. So I made my way to the fens and started fighting through each neighborhood in close quarters urban combat. This area is teeming with suicidal super mutants, rabid animals, trigger-happy bandits, and around every corner there's a car waiting to rip your face off. For these ailments, Dr. Reginald prescribes live hand grenades. Use these well and they'll make your life a lot easier, and their life a lot shorter. Just watch out for the mega cars. I spotted one of these at the end of the street and was drawn to it like some kind of siren. But once I got close, it launched a car at me, at which point I decided it had to die.
The mothership!
After that, I made my way into Backstreet Apparel and immediately realized 2 things. 1, it's absolutely stuffed with cars. And 2, some maniac lobbed a grenade at me, at which point I left. If I go back in there, I'm not surviving. So I entered through the roof, where I received a notification that the quest had been completed.
Genius. Simply genius.
Jeez, I wonder what happened. Briefly exploring the building, I sifted through a medley
I have a feeling that I might
of human
have
body
an inkling.
parts. Some died in their sleep, others hard at work. The only known survivor was a singular teddy bear.
Aww. Why is the teddy bear reading news and also taking a dump? He has a more active day than I do.
On the toilet.
The
mission is complete, but since I was in the area, I thought I'd stop by Diamond City to see how it was coping with the whole carpocalypse thing. I approached Piper, but felt extremely uneasy about the car dangling over her head. My suspicions were confirmed when it smashed my skull into a million pieces.
Bro, you know what this reminds me of? I keep seeing videos, I think it's Dark Souls, when there's the gigantic ball rolling down, and it like you have to hide and it doesn't do anything, and you suddenly move and the ball just like zoom, rolls over you.
After respawning, I can confirm that this
is it Elden Ring? I'm fairly certain that's also a mod.
Car in specific is an absolute bastard. When I did eventually get inside, things weren't looking so good.
I don't want balls to squish me.
Cars were blocking access to several homes and storefronts, and at least a dozen people.
Wait, so are you telling me that in Elden Ring, there's an actual thing that is a ball, and if you move, then the ball will follow you? That's psychopathic, I love it. They're sentient balls. Oh, that's so horrid. I thought it's a mod because it looks so funny. Oh, that's beautiful. I love it.
People appeared to be homeless as a result.
I love it.
Also, within minutes of being here, I witnessed a man pull a gun on his own brother before security guards blew his head off with a car. This place has gone to hell. So I promptly left, only to be crushed by automotive precipitation within seconds of leaving. But it's not all bad, because while I was there, I pawned my wedding ring to a Spanish man in exchange for a long-range scope on my rifle and a silencer for my pistol. Now my enemies will never know what hit them. With that, I decided to head back.
It's a car. It's a car that hit them.
To Preston for our final mission, and my transit was accelerated substantially when I made the mistake of jumping on this pile of cars and getting launched into a ditch 300 feet away. Following this, I spoke with Preston, and he assigned me to help Nordhagen Beach. On my way there, I encountered several things. One of them, a junkyard full of cars that I can't blow up. Terrifying. For some reason, I felt a deep personal need to conquer this area in—
Hello? How deep is that personal need? Excuse me.
In specific,
Damn.
so I tried. This was a mistake because I spent the next 30 minutes dying, being lit on fire, or my personal favorite, being chased through the woods by a suicide bomber, accidentally blinding myself, and then getting attacked by a black bear that I can't even see. After much suffering, I did manage to clear out 99% of the junkyard. The only survivor was a singular super mutant wielding a wooden 2x4. I used this as an opportunity to bully him extensively, until I got bored, lodged him in some construction equipment, and meleeed his foot until he died. Abusing him in this way channeled some feeling similar to melting an ant with a magnifying glass, and personally, I liked it a lot.
See, this is when they say that like streaming and content creation is harder. It slowly eats away your sanity. Yeah, he's definitely going to be a good family man, a great husband, an excellent father. There's no mental illness, no damage, no nothing. Yeah, he's perfectly sane. Yeah.
After this, I came across a robot racetrack where these bandits are betting money on which robot is going to win. Very exciting. Possibly more exciting is that I snuck upstairs, hacked into this computer, and found out there's a button to detonate all of the contestants. The level of free will that I didn't have in this moment was possibly akin to demonic possession, because I could not stop myself from pressing that button.
It's doing evil things.
Bandits did not appreciate this. How do I know that? Well, there's only so many ways to interpret being lit on fire, shot with an automatic rifle, and drown in the ocean. So, yeah. I took that as my cue to leave, so I proceed to the beach where this woman tells me about feral ghouls stealing and eating her children, and while I respect the hustle, I need to put them down. Arriving at the ghouls' hideout, I go inside and what do you know? It's full of cars. So full, in fact, that I can't even stand at the front door without the cars crushing every bone in my body. The desperation
They're just happy to see you.
Felt in this moment drove me to pioneer a new car clearing technique. I lit a car on fire and counted how long it took to explode. Then, using that information, I went inside, ignited a car, and perfectly timed my exit just as the whole building went nuclear. After that, I took a few deep breaths and went back in. It worked like a charm. In fact, not only is the quest complete, but it's literally raining body parts inside. With that finished, we've got 5 settlements under our control, and Preston wants us to go reclaim the Minutemen Castle and declare that our capital city. So
He's so good. He's working so hard. He's doing everything.
I began making my way there, and a few things happened along the way. For example, I encountered a demented man eating imaginary noodles out of an empty bowl. I briefly considered euthanizing him on the spot.
Have you considered that he's not demented? He's just trying to pick it up and he can't. Every time he's like putting it into his mouth, it falls back down. That was my first experiences learning how to eat with chopstick. I tried so fucking hard. Yeah, it's like you with chopsticks.
But I decided to speak with him first.
You know, it took me a long time to realize that when Asian people are eating rice with chopsticks, it's a certain type of rice. It's like sticky rice, not like that kind of rice that like separates from the grains and you have to do it one by one. That was my very first mistake. That I was trying to eat. It was like, I think it was like a jasmine rice I made, and it was like very separate one by one. And I was like, I don't know how they do it, but like they use like fucking sushi sticky rice or something. I was like, I don't get it. This skill issue is just too much.
This was when I realized just how bad his mental disorder was, because he's from Boston.
But no, that means you're smart, super smart.
He's trying to sell me a credit card and won't take no for an answer after I call him a
Dude, I was so stubborn and I was so hungry. I think at the end I ended up just eating with my hand. I was like, fucking, I don't care. Just shove it in. Just
con artist. He drops the hard R on me.
Retard.
Well, Parker Quinn,
you can't say that. Only I can say that.
I might be retarded, but at least I'm not retarded enough to eat ramen noodles in the middle of 4 flaming cars. After they exploded, I searched his body. this chaotic lunatic didn't even have a credit card in the first place. After that, I met up with the Minutemen outside the castle, where we were immediately beset by Mirelurks. It was at this moment I learned that AI are not to be trusted with automatic rifles, because they'll either crush themselves in a vehicular avalanche, or accidentally shoot you into the nearest brick wall. After dispatching the crabs, our assault on the castle began, and I spent the next 10 minutes running around killing Mirelurks and dodging drunk drivers in my underwear, which was great, but my teammates were quickly saturating the entire castle with cars, meaning that every 30 seconds my screen would turn black and I'd have a 50% chance of dying. And that chance increased exponentially when the Queen Mirelurk decided to show up. She was spitting acid and generally giving off bad vibes. So me and the boys started lighting her up, and just as I was about to throw a grenade and turn this whole place into a fish market, a soft-shell crab punched me 40 feet into the ocean. This knocked me out and left me drifting through a sea of aqueous feces, but eventually I came to my senses, tossed a frag, and it was all over. To celebrate, Preston decided
the fucking EXP.
to give the world's most poorly timed speech next to a few flaming cars. In case you're wondering, there were no survivors. After that, I spoke with a dirt-encrusted woman who appears to—
That's a woman. That's not a woman. Is that a woman? No. Is it? No. Is it? No.
have spent the last 8 months face down in the mud. And instead of asking us for a shower, she wants to go into the Minutemen tunnels, fight our way to the armory, and build an artillery emplacement. So we did. Long story short, I found a decapitated alcoholic, stole his clothes, killed an angry robot, and built this. Very nice. After that, Ronnie gave us some smoke grenades and told us to call in an artillery strike with them. I gave it my best shot, only to find out that even the smoke grenades are carved.
Wait, but the normal grenades were fine.
No.
Why?
In this moment, a wave of existential dread washed over me as I realized I'm basically King Midas, but for cars instead of gold. Regardless, we've got 6 settlements.
Everything I touch turns into lightning McQueen.
And we're doing pretty good for ourselves. Now I know you're thinking, so what, Reggie? You've got a handful of impoverished shanty towns paying you protection money. You're basically a slumlord. To that, I say yes, and we're going to need to take it even further. Because I have a grand vision for how I want to reshape society, and it's going to require more than a little fascist dictatorship. So let's get to work. The first
Dude, he's kind of cheeked up.
thing the wasteland's going to need is clean drinking water. So I converted Nordhagen Beach into an industrial desalination plant. With this, we can produce dozens of purified water every day and sell it to the Commonwealth for exorbitantly high prices. Also, this is completely autonomous, which means I have no financial incentive to provide any quality of life to the 2 settlers which I have trapped inside. From here, I went to Tenpines Bluff and established a carrot farming operation. You may notice I encased the entire settlement in a thick layer of concrete. That's for added protection, and also because I don't believe in photosynthesis. Oberland Station is another one
Those carrots are going to be so depressed.
of my carrot farms. However, I ran out of concrete, so the life cycle of these settlers is pulling carrots out of the ground until a raider shows up and blows their head off. Meanwhile, I converted the Starlight drive-in into a Brahmin ranch. By placing several large cages, we can catch Brahmin and then use their feces as
I didn't like that cow. I did not like that cow. Not one bit.
fertilizer for the other farms. We can also use a similar technique to capture humans. By labeling our
It has 2 heads.
cages with free chems, we can compel raiders to wander inside, at which point they become our hostages. The remarkable efficacy of this tactic leads
Do we breed them?
me to believe raiders possess the approximate
Oh my
intelligence of a lobster. Finally, Sanctuary was converted into
The
a penal
sun!
colony to punish settlers that didn't meet their productivity quotas.
I like the
All of the
sun.
inhabitants were forced to sleep in an unlit metal warehouse, which could only be opened from the outside, meaning that if I forgot about them for a few days, they'd have to start harvesting each other's body hair for nutrition. On the occasion where I would show up and let them out, they'd be assigned to one of many workstations. For example, Preston and Mama Murphy were usually working the wheat fields. Doesn't sound too bad, until you realize I'm pelting them with automated paintball guns for the entirety of their 18-hour shift. While the paintball fields aren't great, things could be much.
But why? Wait, why? Does this help Is it more efficient?
much worse.
Why?
Because you could be stuck
Scoo, will you start selling your body hair?
in the pillory, where I use a softball pitching machine to lob empty beer bottles at you until the sun goes down. This burns through a lot of bottles, so I typically spend my entire day here drinking whiskey and pissing myself. In my drunken stupor, I also experimented with the idea of a gladiatorial arena where settlers could fight to the death for my amusement. It didn't take long for me to realize why this was a bad idea. For lesser offenses, I also have a humiliation station
Look at this fucking moron.
where I strip you down to your underwear and fire all of your personal belongings out of a comically large mortar. For everyone else, they're assigned
Wait, but he said that all of the objects became cars. Why weren't they cars?
to stationary bicycles that provide power to the entire settlement. Also, I can literally program the bikes to shock their testicles if the settler isn't pedaling fast enough. And yes, this can kill them.
Is this part of the mod? Is this part of the game? I'm so confused. Is he bullshitting? Is he actually making these things happen?
Honestly, this is the beating heart of my whole faction, and I shouldn't even call it a penal colony, because they're free to leave whenever they want. They just have to make it past the gauntlet, a series of rotary
Bro, this is Path of Exile. It's like when you're trying to do the goddamn fucking labyrinth.
blades that will not hesitate to put you down.
I've been there. I played these games before!
You see, here in my factories, the worker does not own the product of their labor. In fact, they're not even entitled to the sweat of their brow, because that belongs to the desalination plant. Instead, they are afforded the privilege of living in a car-free society, and I think that makes it all worth it. Now, you may be wondering why I chose to farm these things specifically, and I'll tell you. It's because at the castle, I have created the largest macaroni and cheese factory in the entire world, a title which is substantially easier to hold in the post-apocalypse. By using the carrots, wheat, and purified water from my settlements, in addition to plastic waste that I've pulled out of the harbor, I've been able to build and operate 8 full-time food processors, which are churning out Blamco mac and cheese around the clock. Now come here, I want to play a little game with you. When you look at this fully automated factory equipped
Did he just turn this game into basically Factorio? I have a feeling that I'm not looking at Fallout anymore. This is Factorio. Actually, right? He's like min-maxing, he's making it
with vacuum
Factorio
hoppers,
made by
logic
Todd.
circuits, and a laser
Beautiful.
tripwire sorting system, all powered by
Truly
a fusion
beautiful.
reactor. Which of these things do you think I had to get from a mod?
Oh.
Well, I'll tell you. It was the goddamn upward conveyor belt. That's right, Todd sold us a factory building DLC without any upward conveyor belts, which is made even worse by the fact that he did give us downward conveyor belts.
16 times the detail.
He can't keep getting away with this. Anyway, according to my calculations, I have no idea how much macaroni and cheese I'm making, but my best approximation is about 69,120 boxes every single day. I can then take this abundance of delicious and non-perishable food and distribute it to the Commonwealth, raising thousands out of famine and ending countless food-related conflicts. Or at least, that's what you'd believe.
I don't think that the 2 workers need 16,000 boxes of mac and cheese every single day. I know that this is supposed to be set in America, but still, that might be a little bit too much.
If you were a federal
They do
agent,
not
because the
need
reality
it.
of the situation is this whole thing
too
is just
much.
one big cover story. In fact, deep within these
No.
tunnels is an insane man cooking methamphetamine in his underwear. It's me. I'm the insane man. Yes, indeed, I'm making 69,000 boxes of macaroni every day just to conceal my real operation, which is the manufacture and distribution of a highly addictive narcotic called Jet. You see, the fertilizer isn't actually for the farms. Simply put, Jet is an amphetamine derived from Brahmin feces, and with almost 20 Brahmin at my settlements, I'm able to pump out dozens of it every single day. I'm selling it to everyone, even children. This little bastard can't get enough of the stuff. Oh, and all those bandits we've been killing, they were just rival dealers. Simply put, we've got a monopoly on this whole thing. But
Can you really do that? Can you just like make drugs and get the NPCs to get addicted to it? Can you do such a thing? Yes. This game is amazing. What happened to new games? How is this possible? This is such an old fucking game and there's so many options and so many opportunities and freedom in it.
Be honest, running a
What's
drug den within a
happened?
macaroni factory does
This is old. This is hella old.
get a little complicated, and I'd be lying if I said there wasn't the occasional slip-up.
Ooh, this
Pasta.
got me wired. The fuck are they putting in this shit?
But listen, this little secret stays between you and me, because while I could be making millions selling pasta and purified water to the masses, I actively prefer making thousands by creating the next crack
Is that wait? Is that an octopus? I think that's an octopus. Don't look out. It's
the next crack epidemic.
Don't-
So, with all of that out
don't
of the
like-
way, I think it's clear that we've rebuilt a functional and
Is this fashion? Could be.
prosperous car-free society, and I for one am filled with confidence when I consider our prospects for the future. The only thing left to do now is to destroy the source of the cars, which is the Institute. It's going to be a lot of work, so let's try to get through this as quickly as possible. At the start of the game, I allowed the Institute to steal my son Sean, because now I've got a man on the inside. All I need to do is find him. I went back to Diamond City to hire a private detective named
Spy.
Nick, but
Valentine Detective Agency.
he himself is also missing. His
Oh.
secretary asks us to find him. So
Dude, this is the first women model that looks attractive. How is this possible? I thought it was not possible to have a hot chick from Fallout.
obviously I extort
She
her
looks
for
kind of
money.
good.
I do have 125 caps.
More money.
Fine. We'll make it 100.
Even more money.
Okay, you win. 200 caps is all I have.
Okay, that'll do. Let's go get him. From here, I very carefully exited Diamond City
I
Damn.
hate it here. I hate it here.
and began my search, during which I stumbled into a building called the Combat Zone. I know the name sounds bad, but the
Combat
house
Zone.
rules clearly state no combat outside the cage, so I assumed I would be safe. This assumption was very quickly proven wrong when I was shot into a door and beaten with pool cues. However, karma comes quickly for rule breakers, and the entire building exploded shortly after. I got up, made my way into the cage, spoke with a burn victim, not sure if he looked like that before the explosion, and then he gifted me an indentured servant
Female.
named Kate.
Okay, she's kind of hot too. Okay, we found 2 females who are good looking. Okay, there you go. I found you. The second one. Yeah, she's hotter than the other one, it's true.
I know that sounds like a good deal,
She's
but she's a
pretty.
violent Irish drug addict who will
It's even better. We can fix her.
sexually harass you at every opportunity.
That's perfect. I'm fine with this. She's actually best girl. Unironically, she's fine. I'm fine with this.
I took Kate to a nearby lake with
Oh.
the intention of drowning her, but instead I stumbled upon a sea monster named Swan. He's submerged underwater, and if you disturb him, he will beat you to death with an anchor. So instead, I began carefully and deliberately distributing cars all over the area. After about 30, I heard him wake up, so I tossed a grenade and ran away with all 7 of my
Oh
frames.
my god!
After my screen cleared up, I found that his
That poor computer! I wish he would have shown like how many Celsius degrees his GPU and CPU was running on.
headless corpse had been launched over
It
100
was
feet
just chugging like, please, father, please.
into a nearby alley. This allowed me to pick up the
7
furious power fist from his body.
frame.
This bad boy can destroy cars in 3 hits. This is a big power spike for us. Anyway, after that, we descended upon the subway, which led us to Vault 114, where Nick was being held by raiders. These criminals think they're safe just because they're living inside of a vault. But what they don't know is that I'm currently addicted to every chemical substance in the game.
Drugs.
And I've perfectly timed my withdrawal symptoms to hit at the same time.
Drugs.
And when that happens, I'm going to kill everyone. There is a temptation
Aw,
to feel
yeah.
guilty about the fact that 95% of my victims can't even be identified through dental
Those are teeny tiny pieces. Holy shit. Is that a hand? Is that a heart? What am I looking at?
But they should have thought about that before being
no.
born.
Almost at 3 years, it's been awesome to be in the community as cool. Love the new Model 2.
1 foot.
Through the killing spree, we found Nick and began our escape, but our progress came to a grinding halt when Nick became hyper-fixated on this specific
He's just really into the washing machines.
laundry room. He just stood there for hours, and nothing I could do could get him to leave. Eventually, I realized I could move him around by punching him in the face, and so began the hour-long journey of punching Nick all the way to the objective. But you've got to be careful.
There must be an easier way. Why are you bullying the poor boy? He just has dirty laundry.
Because even though he has about 150 concussions by this point, he will not hesitate to jump up and start running back to the washing machine if you let him.
Bro, he found his true love. Washing machine, my beloved.
So stay
That's
vigilant
what
and
it
keep
is.
swinging. Eventually, I got him to the objective, and we were just about to escape when we were confronted by Skinny Malone and his thugs. Fortunately, I was able to weaponize my status as a terminally online man to red
Beautiful.
pill Skinny into believing that his girlfriend was just using him for his money.
True. True. Toxic. She has the crazy eyes. I believe him.
This revelation made him feel so dejected that he didn't even want to fight us. The one condition
Bro, he had his heart broken. I can't believe that you can gaslit NPCs into thinking that, like, their girlfriend is cocking them. This game is genius.
is that we only have 10 seconds to leave. But Nick is currently fighting and losing
you.
a battle against a 1955 Lincoln Indianapolis. So he couldn't escape and they got pissed. I really wish every social interaction didn't have to end like this, but here we are. After this, we met Nick at his office to discuss our plans to find my son.
He loved the washing machines. Now it's your time. Run back, buddy. I will distract him.
And destroy the Institute.
Please.
He tells me to take a seat and get comfortable, so I remove all of my clothes. We identify the man that took Sean as Kellogg and decide to break into his house and look for clues. The only issue, it was booby-trapped. Yeah, whole thing full of cars. I wanted to experiment to see if I was high enough level to survive the explosion. So I wiggled my way upstairs, drank an entire bottle of vodka, lit a car on fire, and waited to face my destiny. Destiny hurt a lot, but I survived by jamming adrenaline syringes into my chest and plugging my wounds with leftover food. Nick and Kate were also completely fine. With the cars now cleared out, we were able to find Kellogg's gooning chamber, which...
Is this the masturbatorium? It seems pretty clean. I'm not convinced. It doesn't seem like... There's not even a tissue. There's no lotion. Where is it? It's too clean. It's suspicious.
had no shortage of genetic material.
Ooh.
Genetic material which we then used to track him down with the help of a dog. I'm not exaggerating when I say that I probably died 50 times during this part. And I don't know why. Things just kept exploding. Eventually, I was even able to predict my deaths down to the second. 3, 2, 1... Much like Chinese water torture, this form of suffering was terrible in its simplicity and irresistible in its truth. After much hyperventilating, I made it to Nordhagen, where Kellogg was hiding out. I entered through the roof, got pinned in the corner, and then had to endure the entire building exploding for the next 25 seconds. By some divine miracle, I survived this ordeal and killed my way to Kellogg. When I met him, I delivered a pretty sweet one-liner and then got put down like a dog. For my second attempt, I just jumped straight to filling the entire room with cars and blowing it up. I have yet to find a more effective combat technique than this. After this, it was back to Nick's to discuss what happened. Kellogg didn't give us any information on account of the incident, but Nick tells me there's a voodoo shaman that can read people's minds, which is convenient because I just so happened to scoop up a fistful of Kellogg's brain matter back at Nordhagen. So we make our way to Good Neighbor to meet the doctor. Within 60 seconds of arriving, a man extorts me for protection money and is immediately stabbed to death. Looks like...
Is this Britain? I thought this was supposed to be in America.
Someone wasn't paying
cultural appropriation,
their
man.
protection fees.
Rude.
After that, I head to the memory den, where I am victimized by a car half a dozen times. I cannot properly express the anxiety I now experience when entering buildings. But if you can imagine that behind every door, cabinet, and cupboard in your house, a car is waiting to kill you, then you are approximating the surrealist hell that is my reality. Eventually, I made it past the cars and met Dr. Amelia, who offers to put me inside of Kellogg's memories to try and find the location of the Institute. So I agree, and dear God, there's cars even in the memories. I spend some time rooting through Kellogg's
Cars, my beloved. I am perished, but I'm still thinking of him.
psyche, where I learned that he's so violent because his father didn't breastfeed him enough as a child.
I know, same. That's the same thing that happened to me too.
Also learned that there's an escaped scientist from the Institute, and if I find him, he can tell us how to get in. His name is Virgil, and he's hiding out in a sea of radioactivity. So I very carefully navigated my way to the nearest clothing store, making sure to die several times in the process. After which, I bought myself a hazmat suit. This should mitigate the radiation from the glowing sea. On our way there, I observed the arrival of the Brotherhood of Steel. They've got all kinds of helicopters flying around, but they're not coping very well with the local anti-air defenses. Anyway, I arrived at the glowing sea and equipped my suit, giving...
Dude, season 2 is coming out soon. Like the TV show. Have you guys watched the Fallout TV show? The Amazon one? I actually liked the first season. I am hoping, I have my butt cheeks crossed that the second season is going to be also good. It was pretty good. It was pretty good, so I'm a little bit cautious for the second season. Aw, thank you.
me near 100%
It was
radiation
pretty good.
immunity. Kate, on the other hand, well, she's pushing the theory of radiation hormesis to its upper limits.
Hormesis?
Honestly, once you get past the prostate cancer, the glowing sea isn't too bad. I fought a few things, realized the utility of a double-barrel shotgun, and then absolutely humiliated this deathclaw. Proceeding a little further led us to the Children of Adam. They're basically a cult that worships radioactivity, but despite all of their brain
Same.
tumors, they were actually quite helpful. They told me that Virgil is holed up in a cave down the road. To reward them for their cooperation, I decided to release the radioactivity trapped
They just like it because it's glowy. Oh my god, would that be my function? Because it's glowy and it's like lamps and it's just like radioactive, my beloved. Nom 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 nom.
inside of these cars by blowing up their entire settlement. I know, it's a thoughtful gift. This detonation left
They pray to autumn. Let's go.
only Brother Ward and Brother Foster to repopulate the entire
Brother.
settlement. And Foster doesn't seem to be handling the news well. I make my way to Virgil's edging cave, where I find him so back
The edging cave. Bro, first the masturbatorium, now the edging cave.
up that he's literally changing colors. He agrees to help us, but says the only way to get into the Institute is by teleporter, and we're going to need a transmitter chip from inside a courser's skull to design one. Luckily, I knew exactly where to find this, so I made my way to Green Tech Genetics, a building which could not for the life of it stop exploding. After I waited that out, I shotgunned my way through a couple of gunners and arrived at the courser just in time to witness him execute a man at point-blank range with a Ford Ranchero. So I made my way up there and introduced myself.
Are you here for the synth? Fuck you.
The courser turned invisible, as if any part of my plan actually involved being able to see him. 14 car
Maybe,
explosions
yes.
later, I had his brain in my hand. The only people that are capable of decoding this brain chip are the Railroad, a highly secretive society of anti-institute resistance fighters. So clandestine is their operation that the only way to find them is following a bright red line on the ground for 10 minutes and then entering Railroad as the password to their base. Holy shit.
Wow,
Anyway, I met with
subtle.
the Railroad and started lying to them immediately, because why else would I be playing a charisma build? They
Oh, that's horrible. I kind of hate that. Thank you. That's like nightmare fuel. Chad Trump cannot hurt you. Chad Trump is not real.
They agreed to help and introduced me to a clearly
He has the kiff lips.
neurodivergent man who attempted to decode the chip by endlessly typing the same 4 letters on his keyboard as I phased in and out of consciousness due to my acute radiation poisoning. Stunningly, this worked, and we now have all the information needed to design a teleporter. For some reason, I trusted Virgil to do this, despite him being a biologist and not an engineer. I don't know if you're aware, but that's like hiring a plumber to do your heart surgery. Anyway, in the spirit of making bad decisions, I took Virgil's teleporter schematics to Sturgis to build it, despite the fact that I have personally witnessed him
Bro, Genshin Impact in the big 25? I don't think
hammering
so.
a wall with no nails for over an hour. If that wasn't bad enough, he came back and told me we could build this space-age teleporter using the random garbage lying around our slums. So I did. but I have never felt less confident about something in my entire life. Regardless, he flipped the switch and teleported me into the Institute, where I then took the world's slowest elevator downstairs to find my son Sean, who—
Oh my god, he grew up! You actually get to meet your son and he's actually like grown up and everything.
who, for some reason, is scared of the naked man smelling of vodka.
No, I don't know why. He looks trustworthy. He seems fine. And he didn't become a car!
With a bloody power fist, because he's claiming that I'm not his father. Shortly after, a character named Father
But why is he in a tub?
enters the room and introduces Sean as his son.
And the product of my semen, my son.
Sean.
Long story short, Father is my son, and Sean isn't even human. In fact, he's a Redditor. My father—
Okay, that caught me. He's not even a real human. He's a Redditor. Bro, okay, that caught me.
son then spends his next 20 lines of
Good
dialogue
shit.
trying to convince me on the merits of dating femboys.
Oh
Try
no.
and keep an open mind. This is insane, right? Wrong,
It's insane.
irrelevant. It really is humanity's best hope for the future.
Maybe. I don't know.
I've been a part of something.
Is that how we save Earth? By becoming Redditors? Man, maybe I should be more active on my subreddit. Fuck.
Amazing here. And now, after all these years, you
Please,
have an
though.
opportunity to help with that.
It was all very confusing, and I'm pretty sure they're just trying to distract me from the whole car thing. And honestly, it's working. Anyway, I checked my notes, and according to the quest map, it is at the—
Oh my god. Oh my god. What the— Dude, you see this? How much content is in this game? Dude, if this would be released in 2025, half of it would be cut, and even that half would be split into two, and the second half would be the DLC.
this point in the game where we need to become
That's crazy.
hostile with the Institute. It doesn't really specify what that means.
$110 triple, quadruple A game.
So I took it in a pretty extreme direction. After beating my son to death, I made my way to the atrium, a large open area just
Episodic life service. You have to get like a battle pass to get all the quests, actually.
waiting to be filled with cars and exploded. So I did exactly that at the cost of my own frame rate. And to the best of my knowledge, there were no survivors. I also stopped by the weapons lab to try and destroy their research and development team, but it looks like they've got that covered themselves. And with that, I decided to leave, only to be confronted by a small army of synths at the exit. I wasn't sure exactly what they wanted, so I decided to err on the side of caution and just start blasting. It appears that our declaration of war was received loud and clear, because after teleporting back to safety, I was informed that the Macaroni Castle was being besieged by Institute forces. Our Blamco mac and cheese must not fall into their hands, so I hustled over there and prepared the defenses. It wasn't long before the battle was underway, and within 30 seconds, a giant car pile had already formed and ignited near the front of the base, the detonation of which killed almost all of my employees. After that, it was just a hellish experience, with cars flying in every conceivable direction, accompanied by a near-endless symphony of explosions and metal sound effects. My only tip for this is to avoid using VATS, because it will inevitably betray you. At one point, I made my way outside to lay a minefield and clear some synths, but Kate came around the corner and surprised me, so I accidentally launched her into low Earth orbit. Never saw her again after that. 20 minutes.
But she was hot. We could have fixed her. She was hotter than the other
By the
chick.
way, something I've been wondering about, is there a chance you could return to Fallout 4, especially now when the anniversary edition comes out?
Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, don't look at me like that. Oh no.
And countless explosions later, we had finally
Anniversary. Wait, are they adding something? Are they remaking it, remastering it, or are they just selling it once more? Just because why not? Gaming squeeze, she can't hurt you.
defeated the Institute army, but the damage they inflicted was devastating. For example, there were carrots everywhere, and more than a few body parts had made their way onto the conveyor belts. This was indeed
I do love a few legs with my mac and cheese.
A dark day at Blamco Mac and Cheese LLC. I knew retaliation was necessary.
Delicious.
We need to send a message to the Institute, and it has to be written in synthetic blood. Unfortunately, Preston says we don't have enough people to launch an attack, so I decided to capture Vault 88 to recruit more soldiers. It was controlled by a gang of raiders, but in possibly my most stylish
I heard it. I heard the pure pleasure. I deserve it. Thank you, Yadida.
move to date, I killed all of them while cartwheeling over their exploding corpses in the canyon below. This miraculous form of homicide had people lined up around the block wanting to join my army. So what's the plan? Well, Sturgis just casually mentions that he knows a sewer drainage pipe which we can use to infiltrate the Institute. So you're telling me that I waded through a radioactive sea, killed hundreds of people, built an entire teleporter out of spare cutlery and condom wrappers, and even spoke to a woman, when instead—
that's nothing. He spoke to like 3 women. That's like more than 1, more than 2, but less than 4. That's crazy.
I could have just crawled through 1,200 yards of feces.
Ew.
Thanks a lot, Virgil. So I put on my hazmat suit and made my way to the sewer pipe. The Institute did attempt to block it with a car, as if I'm not some kind of expert at destroying them by this point. After battling my way past a bunch of guards, I'm back inside, and I hack into their computer, briefly play Galactic Control, accidentally shoot down a commercial airliner, and then teleport everyone to my coordinates. The plan is to fight our way to the reactor and place a bomb on it, which will cause this entire place to go up in flames. Pretty good idea, actually, but I'm not exactly filled with confidence when I look at my reinforcements. Before the fighting began, Preston asked me to give the Institute citizens a chance to evacuate, because apparently—
We're not here to commit mass murder.
But all I heard was—
commit mass murder.
So I put on my finest genocide tuxedo and we got to work. Before long, my team had made their way to the bioscience department, where I tactically neutralized several highly dangerous scientists. We were briefly attacked by gorillas, very briefly, before making our way into the main chamber. At this point, things got really messy really fast, and it's all kind of a blur. But I'm pretty sure I punched someone's arm off. After several extinction-level explosions, I disabled the security lockdown and accessed the reactor room. There, I carefully planted the bomb, while almost certainly developing cancer. It's now time for us to make our escape, but on the way out, I'm approached by fake Sean, who all of a sudden wants to be my—
So is it not your son? Is it your son? Is it not your son? Is it the clone son? What is your son? Is your son just mac and cheese? It's a synth? So where is— the old guy was the son. Oh, the one who said that he was daddy? Oh.
son, just to avoid dying in a nuclear explosion.
You can't just leave me here.
Watch
I don't
me.
want to die.
Well, too bad, kid. I don't date gold diggers.
That's not happening.
That's the twist, that you were frozen for longer than you think. Ah.
So we teleported out, and I pressed the biggest and reddest button of them all, instantly vaporizing the Institute and destroying the source of the cars once and for all. It's finally over. Oh, and Preston did have a mental breakdown because I didn't evacuate the civilians, but he'll get over it. With the Institute destroyed and my colonies prospering, it's safe to say we've been
Wait a second, those are not carrots.
very successful, and I believe success is something that's meant to be shared. Personally, I can't think of anyone more deserving than the fine people at Diamond City. They've helped me on numerous occasions, which is why I've decided to donate to them 100,000 boxes of Blamco mac and cheese. It is my hope that this will be received as a sign of goodwill that might bring our factions closer together. The only problem is that my factory doesn't process things while I'm away. Thanks a lot, Todd. So I went back to the castle, sat down in my finest chair, and left my PC running for the next 36 hours. By the time I returned, I had become a pasta god, and it is now time to reward my subjects.
Oh god.
Could the Fallout franchise last another miserable decade if they added catgirls to the wasteland? Todd Howard would definitely stoop that low.
So much mac and cheese!
Well, there it is, 100,000 boxes of Blamco mac and cheese
Damn.
enveloping Diamond City like a warm blanket. However, there were no celebrations, no fireworks, and the city was not undergoing the massive cultural and scientific renaissance that I was expecting. And I didn't understand why. It's perfectly good food, but upon closer inspection, it became obvious. All of this pasta is uncooked. No wonder they're not eating it. So what we need is heat, the byproduct of an exothermic reaction.
Oh, no.
An exothermic
He's going to set everyone on fire. Won't he? He's just going to set everyone on fire.
reaction, such as a car
no.
exploding. Fret not, Diamond City. I've got just what you're looking for.
But the
Gentlemen,
water.
it's time to cook.
They still need water. No. There's just gonna be burnt pasta. The fire. The FPS.
My city.
This is my city. He's spreading freedom and pasta.
Well, that does it for this video. We've saved the world from an automotive apocalypse and ushered in an era of abundance and tranquility. Thank you to this month's patrons for supporting the channel, and finally, thank you for watching.
Hell yeah. He was really helpful. He helped so many people. It was really, really nice. I'm proud of them. Good job. Good job. I'm so proud of them. He had done a good service for all of us.